There we go, those magic words. Well, okay, well, hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the second half of our Rotary Spring Assemblies. So today, as you know, we're doing training on 3 separate tracks. And our track today on my Zoom, this particular Zoom, we're going to do youth service. At 10 o'clock, we're going to talk about district grants with Dave Mosdrin. And then 11 o'clock, we're going to do leadership opportunities within your club and within the district. So we got 3 super fun-filled hours of Rotary training this morning, and it's my pleasure today to introduce our the head of our youth services, Mr. Ryan Char, and he'll be presenting today. So take it away, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Benson. Good morning, everyone. A lot of familiar faces, some new faces I see. We're gonna go ahead and I have a presentation today. I know this is being recorded, so for folks that are not able to join in, specifically the track, they'll have the opportunity to watch it later. So I do want to be able to get through a short presentation today. I also have Cheryl Holdcroft here to talk a little bit about what the district is doing for youth exchange. So that's exciting news as well. But like Benson mentioned, my name is Ryan Char. I'm with the Rotary Club of Honolulu Sunrise. I'm District 5000's youth service chair. So I'm really here to support all of you, though, as the youth service chair. I'm trying in some instances to put together events and projects for the entire district to participate in, but I'm also recognize that everyone here has their own clubs, their own youth service activities, and their own Interact or Rotaract clubs, youth clubs that they support, and here to help just make some of your clubs, all of your clubs if you want, more vibrant and more energetic and exciting. And so we'll get into a little bit of what both the district is doing and maybe what some of the individual clubs are doing. Can I just maybe ask around, because this is a smaller group, can I just ask around what folks are you guys youth service chairs? Are you president-elects? Are you current presidents? What if you want to come off mute and just say real quickly, or if you want to type in the chat, feel free. I'm just interested to see who's here. Maybe folks are chatting it in.
Okay. Hi, I'll start. Hi. Oh, sorry, Mike, go ahead. I'll wait.
So Mike tapped it in, president-elect, Upcountry, Maui, not done youth service much in your club. Cheryl, go ahead. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm president-elect for the Rotary Club of East Honolulu. I'll change my name here in a minute. And it's my second round in District 5000 Rotary. I took about an 8-year break to move to Asia, and before that I was the district youth exchange chair. So that's why at the last minute, I think it was Friday, they said, hey, can you do a little blurb? And I said, why, sure, no problem. So here I am. Hi, everyone.
Sounds good. Thanks, Cheryl. Joni, Pres and PE, both, I guess, for a couple A, Man, PE, Line of Sunset, Beverly, past president. So a little bit of a mix. I see, June is on our youth service committee and meetings all the time. Paul, Mililani Sunrise also. Mililani, past district governor, of course. So thanks for joining. Lars Steelquist, past district governor, of course. So thanks for joining. So probably a lot of folks that know or a little bit already what youth service does, but definitely go through and explain a little bit what the district is doing for everyone and for the recording here. But I'm going to share my screen. I have a PowerPoint I'm going to get placed up here, and if you've been to one of these before, it may sound or it looks similar. Sorry about that. But it is, we're trying to build some continuity here in youth service, and with some of the events and the activities that we do. So can everyone see that on their screens? And you don't see the Zoom controls and your faces, hopefully, and blocking the screen. I'm on my laptop. So do you see the full PowerPoint? Good. All right. Very good. I apologize, folks, too. I'm getting off of a cold. Wasn't COVID, but it was from two of my kids. So they got my two kids got sick, and then they got me sick. But anyway, well, welcome to the youth service training here. A little bit about the youth services committee. I like to call our committee a little bit like the Rotary family, because we kind of oversee and work with and coordinate the efforts of multiple different youth organizations throughout District 5000. So obviously we're all in Rotary clubs. Our Interact clubs are part of our family. Our Rotaract clubs have been given some new standing in Rotary. They're kind of their own independent clubs, but we still work very closely together with our Rotaract clubs in the Youth Service Committee. All of you, I'm sure, are aware of, hopefully, of the Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation, which gives out scholarships. So not a part of District 5000, but at least an affiliated program. And then RILA, hopefully you've heard the acronym RILA. We'll go a little bit about what RILA is doing and has done thus far, but that's the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards program. Let's see here. I'm Ryan Char again, past president of Honolulu Sunrise Rotary, already 5 years ago plus. Been the District 5000 Youth Service Chair for the last 3 years, started under Naomi, then went through Sandy, and now under Randy. And I am and will be the Youth Service Chair for Mark coming up in the new year. So that's exciting. I am looking for more folks to join my committee for some point in the future where I may step down as chair and give others a chance to lead. I really believe our youth service efforts through the district is something that has a lot of energy, has a lot of growth opportunity. I wish I could spend a lot more time into it, but as you can imagine, I've got my own things and work and family and kids, and so the more hands and helping youth service in the district, the better. And so looking to find some new faces in our youth service group committee. And so if you're interested in joining, please let me know. We meet every fourth Monday, I like to say, in the months that have 5 Mondays, it's still the fourth Monday. And then sometimes we're switching around because the fourth Monday tends to align with certain district events. So sometimes we're on the third, but usually the fourth Monday of every month, we hold a district-wide youth service committee meeting where I give folks some updates on what the district is doing, and folks can chime in and participate and also provide their own ideas and projects for consideration. And so it's a really nice exchange of ideas, time for exchange of ideas, time for just getting ideas to get your youth clubs more involved. I specifically mentor the Roosevelt High School Interact Club, as well as the Mid-Pacific Interact High School Interact Club. And so they're both very, very active. Very happy about the energy and the work that they've done over the last 10 years or so, because I've been doing this ever since I joined Honolulu Sunrise. And so I'm happy to share anything, folks have questions on both Roosevelt or Mid-Pacific and the Interact clubs and what they're doing. I'm happy to share any kind of tips or tricks or things. And if we do have some time towards the end, we can definitely go into some best practices and some ideas for implementation in any of your Interact clubs, because I know it's always hard to get our interactors focused and doing things. They're high school students, so they're all busy, but I've found some tips and tricks that work pretty well with those two clubs that I run, or help run. The kids are really the ones in charge. The Youth Service Committee, though, as I mentioned, again, Interact, Rotaract. The district does have an early act program. It hasn't been super active. I know a couple of schools have it, but this is for youth clubs, youth community service clubs in elementary school. So I know there has been some recent interest in some early act clubs, but it, excuse me again, to be honest, it is hard to do because it requires a lot of involvement from the parents, because we can't work really directly with anyone in elementary school. So if you're interested, though, the district does have a handbook. The district does have some resources, some folks that have had early act clubs before in the past. I think you'll see through this presentation, the goal really is to get community service ideas, get the community service mindset, giving back to others and service above self. Get that motto, that mantra, that belief system into our youth as early as possible, because I think Rotarians really believe that helps our youth grow up and be functional and contributing members to their communities in the future. And so the goal for our committee in District 5000 is to instill these beliefs into our youth, train them in leadership, give them experiences in different perspectives and cross-cultural experiences and all those other things. Give them the opportunities to do that, from elementary school to middle school to high school to college. And when they grow up with that, hopefully they take that into their careers, their lives, their future families, and hopefully one day become Rotarians. And so that's really the goal. And I think we're well set up in the Youth Service Committee, but again, need additional help, need all of your new ideas, your new ways of doing things, because as all of our youth, this new generation of youth coming up, they have different priorities, they have different interests, and so trying to keep up with that is very important to me and very important to the district. We'll get into I'm sorry, I just keep coughing. We'll get into Youth Leadership Awards, RILA, Junior RILA. We have a RILA program for our middle school students. We'll touch on Youth Exchange with Cheryl, and there is also a New Generations Exchange, which is more for the college age students. And then we'll touch a little bit about youth protection at the very end. But our Interact clubs, I think most here know what our Interacts do, but I think for those that are new to youth service, I'll just do a quick overview here. Our Interact clubs are our high school, or have been our high school community service clubs that are affiliated with our Rotary clubs. But if you didn't know, Interact is now open to middle school, and it's been that way for the last several years. So if you do have a middle school in your area through the DOE, they are able to form an Interact club as long as you find a good advisor there and they have the support of the principal. You can create a community service club in your middle school that could then feed into an Interact club into your high school. And we're seeing that happen in many instances with particularly Central Middle School. They have a very strong middle school Interact club, and we're seeing them pop up in the various high schools that they're ending up at. But it is open to ages 12 to 18. Through the Interact clubs, really the officers have a chance to gain leadership skills, develop service projects, but the students that are not officers get to participate in community service projects. They may be doing it for their resumes for college. That's fine. I don't shy away from that. I think it's definitely a big motivator for our students. But a lot of them are also doing it for honor society. They need community service hours. Some of them are just doing it because their friends are doing it. But it's whatever reason they want to join Interact, we've been supportive of it. Something to note, I think, for all of our Interact clubs, and I think folks that have Interact clubs can attest to this. They need strong club leadership, and they need a strong Rotarian partner from the club that is sponsoring them, right? And so if you have any questions about starting or energizing your Interact club, the first question I usually ask is, well, who's your advisor? Who's your advisor in your Interact club, both on the Rotary side and on the school side? Because those are going to be your key relationships to make sure that your club is active, doing things, they're on track, and they're doing the projects that they want to do. So if anybody needs any help or ideas with finding an advisor at your school, please reach out to me. A couple of recent developments that we've had are Interact and Rotary has had a direct conversation with the Department of Education's leadership. We're part of a partnership with an organization called Kanu Hawaii, putting together Volunteer Month for this month, April. And so you might have seen a couple of emails coming through my email address asking for projects and things for Volunteer Month that we can do. And a lot of the clubs responded. There's over 25 projects. Several of them are partner projects. So there's partnerships between Rotary clubs, but a lot of them have their Interact clubs participating. And it's great to hear our Rotary clubs are partnering with their Interact clubs this month to do projects as part of Volunteer Month and as part of Rotarians at Work Day. But through this partnership with Kanu Hawaii and Volunteer Month, we've been given kind of direct access to a couple of the higher ups in DOE leadership. They've acknowledged that there isn't a lot of motivation for the teachers in the schools to become advisors for the Interact clubs. They don't get paid for it. They do it on their own time. A lot of them have other commitments that they're doing, whether it's speech and debate or coaching or whatever. But they want to prioritize community service clubs. And I think they're going to help Rotary find the advisors in each of the schools if you need an advisor in your school. So please reach out to me. I do have the ear of a couple of the CASs and even the deputy superintendents that are in charge of programs. And while they're still not going to compensate the teachers for their time doing Interact advisory roles, they do recognize the importance of it and are willing to work with the principals in each school directly to find advisors for us if we need to. So again, please reach out to me if you are needing that advisor role on the Interact Club leadership side of things. On the Rotarian side, it's going to take a lot of time and effort to really keep your Interact clubs vibrant and active, right? I meet with my Roosevelt Club monthly at least. I meet with my Mid-Pacific Club maybe every other month, or at least through email. So and they need that. I mean, they need to know why Rotary is a partner to them. They need to know how Rotary supports them. And they need to know that we have opportunities that they can join in as well. So whoever in your club is tasked with overseeing the Interact Club really should be someone who has the time and the commitment to go communicate with these students, because once you lose that relationship, the students really lose interest. And so it's important that you both on the DOE side, but on your Rotary Club side, that you find a very strong advisor, because the Interact clubs do need that strong club leadership. So again, any questions, feel free to jump into the chat, and we'll have some time for questions at the end here, but just wanted to give you that high level on the Interact clubs. There are Interact club project opportunities through Rotary International. There is World Interact Week, which usually occurs sometime in October. There are awards that our interactors are eligible through Rotary International. You know, for me, if you're interested in any of that stuff, I'm happy to provide you the information for it. But I think a lot of us, obviously, we're not doing this for the awards. We do this though. The awards are very helpful though, if it wants to help, provide you ideas to do activities in your specific clubs. One thing I'll throw out, and I don't know if this is going to be the case for next year, but this year there was a district Interact club grant. For those of you that didn't know, it was run very similarly to the district grants that your clubs get, but these were available to Interact clubs. We gave out $500 scholarship or grants to 5 Interact clubs. 2 of them are on the Big Island, 3 of them are on Oahu. Unfortunately, no one from Maui applied for their Interact clubs, but I had heard some interest that Maui clubs were going to apply. Unfortunately, they didn't get to it in time. But these clubs were given the given $500 to any one of their projects that they submitted as part of their grant application. and now they have money to go ahead and do projects. So the couple of the projects involve murals and peace pole installations. One of them is an ongoing kind of trail restoration, bike path restoration over in the Pearl City area. My club is installing composters at Roosevelt High School. So they're going to take cafeteria food waste and then send it to 3 or 4 composting bins. And then eventually those composts, once it's ready, is going to go to the gardening club as well as the Makiki community gardens for free, really. And so lots of great things going on with those projects. I'm hoping to find some funds for next year through our district leadership team to continue that, because I think when folks can make a bigger impact with their projects, they're always energized to keep going and do bigger and better things. So trying to find that grant funding. But through your Rotary clubs, please find the opportunity to get grant funding to your Interact clubs as well, because each of our clubs is eligible for district grants. My club, allocates a good, $2,000 a year to our Interact clubs for them to hold events, do projects, whatever it might be. So for all of our president-elects putting together your grants for next year, don't forget about your Interact clubs, because your grant funding for your club can go and support your Interact clubs. There is talk about a mentorship program that's district kind of overseen but club sponsored. Still in the talks with that, but working on that. Rotaract clubs. Again, for Rotaract clubs, 18 and older, they can be university-based or community-based. But these are for our young leaders and young professionals. Now, to be in Rotaract, there's really no age limit in Rotaract. So it's kind of its own functioning club that has somewhat equal standing with Rotary clubs. So just know that. But I think the goal is still from this district to get our Rotaractors into a Rotary club at some point. But the Rotaractors are doing good things here from a college level kind of age or even older. Through it, I think a lot of the Rotaractors find the networking component of Rotaract a big thing. They're with similarly aged folks in their careers. They're meeting folks that are and doing professional networking events that are around their stage in their lives. And a lot of them are, college friends that they've met and gained throughout their college careers. And so this is just another opportunity. There is a Rotaract Council within the district, and they're doing fairly well. They're planning our Young Leaders Celebration coming up here next week. And I know they've been very involved in RILA. So Rotaract is doing a lot of good things. Again, early act, I won't focus on this too much, but again, just providing young students and their families the opportunity to gain awareness and knowledge of the world around them and provide opportunities for service events. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. But, please, just get involved. I think the idea is to just try to, whatever your club is interested in, because like I said, you do need that champion. Find projects that speak to you and invite your youth service folks to them. Or if you're involved in dictionary or reading, like many of our clubs are, continue to do those. But I think what our high schoolers need in many regards is some vocational training, some career kind of awareness type of events. We were trying to do a district-wide college and career readiness webinar, but we found that for a virtual event, it was hard to implement. We have a lot of material on college prep and career awareness that's really not meant to conflict with whatever school's college program or college office is doing, but really to support them. I've spoke to the DOE about it, and they're very happy about it. They're like, there's no way their college counselors can reach every single kid out there at the DOE. So any other opportunities like organizations like Rotary can provide for college and career readiness, they're really supportive of. I just came back from a career fair. I was invited as the Interact Club advisor for Roosevelt to do a career fair presentation at Roosevelt. So I just did that this past week. But try to just do those kind of things. I think it, that kind of stuff doesn't take a lot of time, but it's a great way to get the word out about Interact, but also just share a little bit about you and give back to those kids that are looking for what they want to do for the next 40 years in their lives. I think the last bullet point is my biggest one, and it's at the end for whatever reason. My goal has always been to get my interactors to join Rotaract wherever they go. Rotaract is very strong on the mainland, specifically on the West Coast. And so a lot of my students have joined their Rotaract clubs at their colleges. Please, I think, again, it's really about the progression of service throughout their young lives, getting them involved in service from middle school, high school, college, after college with Rotaract, and then hopefully one day into Rotary. All right, I'm going to move into some of our partners kind of stuff and other programs. Hoy Rotary Youth Foundation, I think everyone really knows a lot of the details, but I think what's just amazing is that yearly, HRYF gives out, $260,000 worth of scholarships, for each club, 50 something clubs. And just since inception has given out over, $7 million worth of scholarships to our youth. And so each of your clubs hopefully is participating. My goal and my reminder for folks here is that every year you pay your dues, right, to participate, and it's a nominal $200 due. That gets you eligible to give out at least a $2,500 scholarship. But if you want to be eligible for the $5,000 scholarship, you need to hit a donation target that HRYF has set. It's $20 per capita, so $20 per person for whatever your club's membership number is. For the 2023-2024 Rotary year, you need to have made your donation target by the end of this year. So make sure for your current presidents, your current youth service chairs, I've been reminding them, but for all of our PEs here, please make sure that you've asked your president, hey, did we qualify ourselves, our club, for next year's $5,000 HRYF scholarship? We need to donate at least $20 per person in our club. If you don't, that's okay too. As long as you pay the dues, you still can give out that $2,500 scholarship, so just half. But $5,000 makes a lot of difference in folks' pocketbooks when they're going to college. And so we want each of your club selections for the scholarship to get as much as they can get. And so for a club donation of $800 on my side of my club, I can give out $5,000. It's a no-brainer, really, in many regards. So please go ahead and do that. All right. Registration is already closed, but we want to make sure that folks are celebrating the accomplishments of their youth, right? So there is the second annual Young Leaders Celebration happening next week at Mililani Malka. It's on Sunday, the 16th. Registration is already closed because they've already hit their attendance goals. They have over 100 people registered. It's great. Last year the first annual one we did at Lani Kuhonua as part of the district conference. We're really trying to find as many people to make it. They sold out already here. Probably close to 80 youth, over 100 with our Rotarian volunteers. It's going to be a really fun and exciting event. They're going to give out some mini awards. They're going to talk about RILA. They're going to talk about HRYF. They're going to just have some opportunities for community service and fellowship. They're going to get some free food. There's a donation drive as part of it, and a recyclables drive as part of it. There's a lot of events going on, and it's great. It's been planned by the Rotaract E-Club of our district, and so I'll definitely be sharing some pictures and sharing some updates from the event at our district conference in May. But if you are still interested in volunteering, I think there are still some spots. So for us as Rotarians, if you're interested in volunteering, let me know. Just put in the chat, and I'll try to connect you to the organizers, because I think they're still looking for just a few volunteers to assist with them. RILA is, and I'm just trying to make sure I have enough time here. RILA is, one of our district's biggest events happens every usually February, but I know Kauai is going to be having theirs in October this year. But a chance for our usually juniors, but can be sophomores or younger, to get together in a camp setting environment and do all sorts of leadership training, different team building activities, learn how to run an effective Interact club. A lot of the RILA graduates are not interactors, so it's always interesting that they are not affiliated with Rotary when they get into RILA. But once they go through the RILA program, it's a weekend camp. Are interested in starting an Interact club at their school if they don't have one, or they join the Interact club at their school if there already is one. And so it is just a fun event of smiling faces, as you can see. But each area, each island has its own RILA. This last year was the first time they did it back in person. We were doing it statewide and virtually a couple years before during the pandemic. Each island has its own RILA coordinator committee. So if you're interested in helping to plan and coordinate RILA, each island needs more people to help doing the planning. What I'm finding is that each RILA is a lot of it. The effort is focusing is landing on a couple of people's shoulders, and it's a huge event. They're spending $10,000 just to do this camp for over 50, 60 people, and all the food is provided. They need chaperones. The Rotaract e-clubs and other clubs are helping to provide games and support and other things. They need more help planning it and executing it. So if you're interested in joining the RILA planning team, please let me know as well. There's opportunities for you to get involved that way. Again, just make sure you find and support RILA through sending students there. Again, it would be nice if our Interact Club leadership went to RILA, but it's not specifically reserved for them. It's open to anyone who's just exhibits that leadership quality, is looking to expand and enhance their leadership skills. We also need financial support. So if you are writing your district grants, please look at sponsoring your students to attend RILA. The students don't pay anything, right? So the cost of the 3-day, 2-night camp is typically anywhere from $150 to $250 per camp, just depending on where it is. That's usually covered 100% by Rotary. So it's a great way to get our youth out there with that no kind of financial burden to them. So please make sure that you can sponsor your club's applicants this year through a district grant program. For Oahu, it's going to be, and I think for all clubs next year, it's going to be around the February 17th timeframe again, whatever that weekend is. I don't know the exact date, but it is going to be $250 probably for Oahu. So just anyone on Oahu, if you're planning for your RILA spend next year, $250 per person. I don't know the exact cost for our other islands. One thing that I think I just want to hope folks follow up on and from RILA is just for whoever you send to RILA, follow up with them, see how it went, see if they're interested in Interact, see if they want to join Interact, see if they want to create an Interact club. Like I said, several of our newest Interact clubs have been started by RILA graduates, and isn't that just kind of a great thing? They've learned about Rotary, they learned about leadership at RILA through this weekend camp, and then they went ahead and asked to start an Interact club at their schools. They found the advisors, they found their friends, and now their clubs are active. Again, I think just that pathway to Rotary, just kind of talking a little bit about Interact, Rotaract, RILA, how all of this really ties together, just kind of instilling that leadership and youth service and community service mindset into our kids. If you have any more, or if you want more information, rilahawaii.org is the website. So please go ahead and check them out. We do have a junior RILA program for our middle school students. This year it's going to be on September 9th, 2023. So that moved into the fall semester at the request of the schools. They are looking for some sponsorships, just $100 per club to keep their curriculum and their speakers going. They have a great program that they hire, and it's just been very well received. There, with a donation of $100 per club, there's no limit to how many students you can send, because this is virtual. They do it on Zoom. You can find 20 middle school age students and send them in for that $100 for your club's donation. So please find that way to get the middle schoolers there, because I think there's no real time where folks and kids can learn about leadership and community service. It can happen at any age, really. So please support our junior RILA program as well. So some introductions to some of our youth partners. So youth international exchange, I'm going to give that over, and not Tom. Tom is our chair, but Cheryl, I couldn't make it. Cheryl is going to be giving you a little bit of update on what the district did this year for youth exchanges. But before I hand it over to Cheryl, I just want to remind folks at the bottom of the page here that Rotary and Toastmasters does have a partnership. It is something that has courses, as curriculum on our international website. So if you're interested in doing any kind of Toastmasters events for your youth, your Interact Club, to get into public speaking, to get into presentation prep and all that other stuff, that's a great way to give some experience to your Interact Clubs in that realm, because Toastmasters has obviously been someone that an organization that has been around a long time, that just focuses in on teaching that skill, and it's a very difficult skill, and so our students really benefit from it, especially if they're leaders or officers in their clubs. So let me know if you're interested in that Rotary Toastmasters partnership. But Cheryl, I want to give you some time here to talk a little bit about youth exchange, because that's definitely been a big part of District 5000 this year. They had, I think, 8 students this year from a lot of different places. And so, Cheryl, I'm going to pass it over to you. And I know you have something to share. So I'm going to stop sharing here in a moment. There you go.
Okay, let's see if I remembered how to do this. Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl. I introduced myself before. I'll just say a little bit about how to bring youth into Rotary and how to bring adults into Rotary. I was a Rotary exchange student to Japan 40 years ago right now. I can't believe it's been 40 years, but my bones feel it. When I said, when I get old enough, I'm going to be Rotarian. So I became a Rotarian. Then on Big Island, I started doing a lot of bringing youth exchange students in to Big Island and all over the state. At one point, we had 40 students outbound, inbound. It was a really large program, but it's hard to maintain. It's a lot of work. I had a personal passion for it, worked with Tom back then as well. I just went to Japan to go to the wedding of one of my exchange students, and of the host parents on the Big Island who were not Rotarians, the past president of the Kona Club, the Hamar Schonbergs, both became Rotarians because they were host parents. And another lady, Amy Decker, became a Rotarian and a club president because she'd been a host parent. So there's 2 different ways to bring kids in, both through the host parents who are like, wow, this is a great thing, but also through being a student. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to do this share screen here. Hold on, and let's see if I can do it. Can everyone see that? Now, hopefully the volume will work, because Rotary does these great videos for us. Now, put your hand up if the volume works for me, and I'm going to mute myself.
Cheryl, so
Yeah.
stop. So what you have to do is, before you play your video, there's a little box that says enable video.
Okay.
Before you start the video. So
okay, so I'm gonna go to
just share screen again. Yeah,
Share
so
screen
I do
again.
screen share first.
Yeah.
There's a box at the bottom that says share sound.
Share sound.
Advanced sharing options. No, that's not it. Okay, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to share screen first, and then where does it say shared?
Yeah, you have to click the share sound button before you hit share screen.
Okay,
So-
hold on just a minute. Let's
So
see, I'm
go
gonna
back
give it
up,
one more
yeah, go
try.
back up again.
Yeah, my computer's so weird. Share,
There should be at the bottom left, there's a box that says share sound.
bottom left.
Yeah, bottom left of the whole thing, the whole screen. See it,
Okay, oh,
way down. It says share sound, but at the very bottom of your whole screen, it should say share sound.
hold on. Sorry about this, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
No problem.
Share screen. Okay, so if I see share screen, apps, whiteboards, more, leave are my options.
No.
In that window at the very bottom left, you don't see a checkbox that says share sound.
No, I might have an old version. All right, that's okay. I'll tell you what, let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and give my talk.
So you
and
have to
let me
press
just-
share screen first, and then a little window will pop up, and in the bottom left of that corner is share sound. Didn't work, huh? Okay.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna put this link into the chat right now. And then when I talk, if somebody else can pull it up and when I'm done, we can play it. Will that work?
Yeah,
It's just a YouTube link. So hold on
Yeah.
just a minute here.
okay.
Okay, 1
Wait.
minute. Okay, and I'm gonna copy. Okay, hold on. I always try to use Rotary's resources because they spend so much money on them and they're usually good. So there we go. I'm back in the chat room. I'm pasting it in. And if anyone, when I finish speaking, can get that to come up and ready and knows how to do that, that would be great. So I will share screen for my document that I prepared for y'all, which is a little easier because it's a Word document and I do know how to use those pretty much if I can get this chat room out of the way and go to full screen. There we go. Can everyone see that now and hear me? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's just go through. Tom Gross is the district chair. He's doing a great job. He sustained the program through COVID. So in 21-22, of course, we didn't have any students because of COVID. And then in 22-23, Maui really stepped up to the plate. It's funny, we have a very long history of students coming out of Hana, mainly because a lot of students want to leave Hana. And also we have great support from the high school there for hosting students. So it's been a great little deal for, gosh, the last like 15 years, I think Hana's been a big supporter. So we had outbounds to Chile, Spain, France, and Belgium, and those are some of our strongest youth exchange partners. The world is divided up into youth exchange districts. So when we send students out, we do not get students from those areas. It's kind of like a big spiral of spaghetti. We don't know, we can choose where we want students, but it's not a direct exchange. Inbound this year, and they will be attending district conference, which is so exciting because I want to meet them. We have Nicholas Alaya from Brazil. He's with Poipu Beach Club. Elsa Pacheco from France and the North Hawaii Club. Sarah, don't know how to say that one, Nidasio from Italy. And then Julie Roisland from Norway. I believe that Julie did have to go home. Correct me, Mike. Yeah, her father became ill again, so she did go back home. So we have 3 attending. For 23-24, our expectations are not that high. We have 1 inbound. I'm now back and settled and have a guest room. And so I'm gonna try to talk my club into it. Hopefully nobody's on this call because I haven't brought it up to him yet. But I'm gonna try. What do you need to do to host a student? Well, to send somebody outbound, our Rotaract clubs are our biggest conduit. You just advertise, I send you information and you get applications. You'll probably get, once you advertise, 10 to 15 applications. Then you go ahead and set up a little interview committee, which Tom or myself can help with. Their parents have about a $2,000 commitment. It may have gone up to about $4,000 or $5,000. I'm not sure what the cost is now. A lot of times clubs try to subsidize the student, especially if they're from a lower income family. And we also have helped the student do fundraisers, GoFundMe's, that kind of thing. We do generally give a gift from the club, some spending money, and a gift for the Rotary Club there. So again, this parent commitment, 2,000, I don't know what that is now, but I can get that number from you. The Rotary program has traditionally been more than half, depending on the club's support, of private programs, which are over $10,000, sometimes $20,000. And the best part about our program is that the host families are Rotarians or friends of Rotarians. And so we think that our program is safer. We try to have at least 3 host families for each student so that there's no grooming going on. They switch families. So from a harassment policy with the U.S. State Department, and as we've worked with them, we think that our club is one of the safest for our youth, which is a reason I really like it. And then you have to inbound. So you have a commitment from the club to support them. You give them allowance every month. And then you find a local high school with permission to attend and host families. And I guess 3 is best. So that's kind of what it takes to start a program with your club. It brings a lot of joy to the club, especially, you know, our clubs are getting a little older, and having these young people come to meetings and their friends is really a joyful part of every Rotary meeting. So that's what I have now. I'm going to stop share. I know I want to be conscious of time. Is there anyone who's able to show that link and get sound for it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, hang on a second.
And then I'll come back on just for a minute.
Great. Everybody see that?
Committed to building community through global awareness and understanding, we challenge teens globally to step outside of their comfort zone and expand their worldview by entering a new one. Hosted by supportive families, young people are given the opportunities to explore new locations, immerse themselves in a different way of life, and create impact in regions far from home, all while forming lasting relationships. And making countless memories. Returning home with endless stories to share. Because a moment can be the experience that lasts a lifetime. Rotary Youth Exchange. Find out more at rotary.org/youth exchange.
Okay, Cheryl.
Okay, so again, you know, talk to Tom Gross or feel free to email me because he and I are working together now that I'm settled and have decided to stay. And I look forward to seeing you all participating in Youth Exchange. Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl. It was a great video too from Rotary International, but just good stuff. Like Cheryl mentioned, they're going to be at district conference, so we'll get to hear their firsthand experiences there. So I'm really looking forward to it too. I'm just going to spend the last minute or so here wrapping up, and then I'll open it for questions. But want to give and there's going to be a whole training and everything on this in the future and stuff. But as you can imagine, safety first. Keep your youth safe. Do the right things and have the right pieces of protection in place to make sure you're being safe with your students. So we do have a youth protection officer. I believe it's Peter Evans. I think is going to continue for 2023, 2024. Mark, is that right? Or do I get to choose that? All right, good. The youth protection plans that the district has, he's going to go through all of that in a future training seminar. Each club needs to get certified for youth protection compliance. But we do also have volunteer and background checks. It's something that, you know, Peter will explain a lot more, but you don't have to have your entire club or every single volunteer background checked, but you do want the folks that are working with the youth regularly, and maybe in a situation where it's limited. So if it's you know, one adult to multiple children, you definitely want those people to have their background checks. Never, and I think this is a district policy that we've tried to implement, is that never be one-on-one with your students. That's just not a best place to be. I know you may have a great relationship with them, but to protect the student and to protect us as Rotarians as well. make sure that you keep folks around and always do things in groups with your youth. We do have a sample photo release and use of images document as well. So if you want to use pictures with youth in it, you do need parental consent. So we have those opportunities for from the district to get those from your youth and their parents. But there'll be a whole presentation on it later. I think for the most part, just want to make sure you keep youth service active in your club. However, the district can support you through those connections, those resources. We're here to help. There's Dave Modron laughing. That's his picture there. See how all the kids are facing away from him, but we got permission to use those photos. So, all right. Just some notes of encouragement. Just remember to have fun. I think for youth service, it's something that it takes a lot of effort, but you really have to have a passion to do it and have fun. And that's why I put my time here in youth service. I really believe, one of my roles and goals in life is to just make sure that the next generation is ready for what situations that they're going to face. And I think just listen to your members as your president-elects or your leadership team. Listen to your members because I think we really want our members to feel like a part of that youth service group. So. With that, if you have any questions, you can always email me over at youthservices@rotaryd5000.org. But I'm happy to answer any questions in the 2 or 3 minutes I have left. I think there were a couple of questions here from Mike. How can we look up our club and club members' HRYF contributions? So if you've have the HRYF front office email address. I think it's HRYFoffice@HawaiiRotaryYouthFoundation.org. I think is the right one, but I definitely can find that and share that. You can email Faith, the office manager there, and she'll tell you how much your club is donated. You have to report your club's donations though. So they're only going to report what you've already reported. So if you're participating in Give Aloha, so the Give Aloha program for Foodland, and you're making individual donations at Foodland to HRYF, submit those receipts to HRYF. So your members can do it directly, or you can gather it all in your club and then submit it directly yourself. But if you don't tell HRYF that donation was for your club, they won't know that, right? So it's a little bit of you got to do it from both ends, right? So HRF is going to track as much as they can, but when you're submitting the receipts, you make sure your members know that they should write the club name on that receipt. Like this receipt, I donated $50 during Give Aloha to HRIF. It's from this member, this club, right? And so that way they can do the tabulation for you and tell you how much in total your club has donated. Nalani, do you have your school advisors attend your youth committee monthly meetings? It is open to them. I've invited folks that I know are still advisors. I'll be honest, like I host the meetings at 5:30. I should find a different time to host it maybe, but they have a long day of school that they just finished and they're all tired. So not a lot of them attend. I have had some attend in the past. Some of the Interact Club advisors with the DOE are Rotarians, so those will attend. But our youth service meetings are open to anyone. So please, if you have a youth service chair that's going to attend the meetings, please have them invite your Interact Club advisors, because they are more than welcome to be at our meetings, and they're going to find a lot of great information from me and from the district that will help them plan out their Interact Club year for them, so it won't have to get passed through multiple people in that communication line. Mike, yeah, definitely can send the photo release link to you. I have a hard copy. I don't know if it's posted, but I'll definitely get that out to folks. But I'm going to save this chat and make sure that the things that I need to follow up on to all of you, I definitely follow up on. So any other questions? I know it's 9:56. Hey, Paul.
Ryan, I have a question for you.
Yep.
First of all, thanks for doing a great job with youth service. I think you're doing a good job on that. I have a question regarding the upcoming youth leader celebration. I understand you said the registration is closed.
It is. It is. They got
Kind
a
of
lot of
wonder
people.
why that's so. We just went to First Hawaiian Bank and got $1,000 donation from the foundation, and it went to the youth leader, young leaders celebration. And our club donated another $200. It would be a shame if any one of our interactors from the high school or from middle school are denied access to the youth leaders celebration. I'm trying to figure that one out.
Do you have, I know the deadline for registration passed. Do you have more students that are interested in going? Because if you and I can talk offline, we could definitely do it. The donations covered like the 80 youth that already registered, Paul. So like there's already like a whole bunch of youth that registered, and some clubs were more generous than others. Absolutely. Our club donated similarly to as Mililani Sunrise. We'll find a space for them if you let me know if there's more from Mililani High School or Mililani Middle School that want to attend.
That's fair. And one last question. You mentioned Early Act. Is Early Act sanctioned by Rotary International?
It is not a Rotary International program. It is specific to each district. So certain districts in the United States did them. They were pretty popular, I would say, a couple of decades ago. So the districts, specifically the US districts, have some good kind of programs, protocols, etc. But it's not an officially sanctioned RI program, if that answers your question.
Is that the reason why they're not covered under the general liability for Rotary?
That's the reason, yes.
All right, thank you.
So any Interact, Rotaract, or RI sponsored program, as long as you've listed the event that you're doing on some sort of club calendar, club registration form, you are generally protected by Rotary International's general liability policy. Yeah, but it has to be a listed event somewhere. Otherwise, they don't know about it. They can't cover it. So just something to know as well if you ever have to deal with that. I've had to, unfortunately, and Dave probably remembers, but we had a camping event that went somewhat awry. Everything worked out fine at the end of the day, but we dealt with our Evanston, Illinois lawyers for a little bit, and they told us it was all fine. We did fine and did the right things, but it was not fun, but at least RI does provide each of our clubs that protection. So.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much, man. It was really, really great information today. Cheryl, thank you for your contribution. We're gonna wind it up right now and
Yep.
stop the recording right now.